Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, Rebuilding Helsingborg, with me, Daniel. It's part 9 today and we've got our belated start to the Swedish Premier Division season. Of course, we were distracted by a wonderful cup run, I'm not going to complain. But today we finally do play our first 2 games in the top flight as we face Degerfors and fellow promoted side IFK Varnamo. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. We've got a little bit more transfer news to reflect on as well. So if you're enjoying the series and looking forward to our first game at the top level, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We had a massive transfer special in a Hemel save yesterday. You can find a link to that up in the eye above. There's also links up there to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, the merchandise store, and you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button down below. But thank you as always for your incredible support as we return with a little bit of transfer news ahead of our big start to the season. So since you were last with me, we've had a couple of friendlies, we've been edging towards the season in style. But one of the things I've been a little bit concerned about, particularly looking at the schedule for the first month and a half of the season, is just how congested it is. What I'm looking at doing before the deadline is maybe just bringing in 1 or 2 loan players just to beef up the squad for a few months until the summer, because after that, when we've got a game a week, we're probably not going to need people unless we do win the cup and get into Europe. So with that in mind, our biggest challenge really is coping with the 2 games every single week for the rest of this month. We've got Wednesday, Sunday going forward. It's going to be a real test of some of these older legs, some of these less fancied pros, and a few of the players that would have been on the fringes of the squad otherwise. We have, though, got a little bit of transfer news to help us out. Firstly, a couple of players potentially leaving. Karjalainen has had good loan offers, Ali Suljic as well. We had one for Persson, but it was as a fringe player, so we're not going to let him go. And we're also trying to sell Davidson, the Faroese left back. But we have had a man join the club. You can see his name there, because he joins permanently at the end of November, but he's already joined the club on loan. So after hatching in the last episode, we have loaned out a few players, including Samuel Frosch, who was the temporary backup left back. We've also loaned out Daniel Bergman, who's one of the potential stars of the future. But the big man to come in is Esben Garnas, another director of football find, another really good one as well. From Lillestrøm on loan for free before joining for $7,500 next summer. He's a class player. He's the 3rd best centre-half behind Weiberg and behind Vidal. And when we look at Vidal's lack of fitness, looking at late in a game when we need to make a change, well, a 6'3" centre-half who's great in the air and much better than the subs we had last season, I think that ticks all the boxes for us, doesn't it? He's 27, he's coming towards his peak again. I just thought it was too good to turn down. So Andreas Grankvist gets another pat on the back, another well done, and we've got another good defender into the club. So let's go and get into our first game of the season. We face Degerfors on the opening day, who of course we signed the right back Granath from, who's got the specialist long throw. The first game in the top flight, we've sold double the amount of season tickets. We've got 6,900 fans coming in, so we're getting there. We're getting towards the top level. The one issue is we have had an international break just before this game, and that means we're going to be missing our star striker, because Anthony van den Herk has been away with Curaçao and he's not quite in tip-top condition. So with 2 games a week, and with Varnamo being a side we know we can beat from the second tier last year, I feel like we might have to prioritise him for that one. The rest of it is a very light match load though. It's an easy squad to pick. Just Hendrickson and Almajed have got matches in the legs. The rest of the side is pretty much full strength. We've got Lerpa back on the right. He was out injured in the last episode. And we've still just opted for Lindegaard in goal. Despite the fact he was pretty poor in the last game. Jolson, I'm just not ready to commit to it yet. It won't be too long though. I'm sure it will happen during the season. What that means for today is we've got Lindegaard in goal, Granath and Terzic the fullbacks with Weiberg and Vidal as centre-half. We've got Almajed, Henriksen and Lingman the midfield 3. Lingman star of the show in the last episode. And then Lerpa, Tahar Ali and Karjalainen up front with plenty of options on the bench as needed. I was tempted to bring in Valencia, give him his first start, but I just thought that we try and balance the squad a bit because this gives us our best chance of getting a result today. Then maybe in midweek we can rotate a few and still pick up some points. Garnas on the bench just after joining the club. We've got a little bit of depth outside the 18 as well, which is a real positive for the rest of the season. So let's go and get into our first game of the day. Hopefully we can start the season on a positive front. And here we are with one familiar name in the Degerfors side, and it's the goalkeeper Alfie Whiteman. Former Spurs youngster, I think, but he's popped up in a few of our former saves, quite often as a transfer target, rather than someone we've actually signed. But a really decent side. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a real indicator of where we're expected to finish this year. And actually, where are they expected to be by the media? Because that gives us a better idea. Right, so they're expected to be 10th and us 9th. Varnamo are the favourites to go down, who we face in midweek. So if we can pick up at least 4 points out of these two games, I'll know we're going to be comfortably safe. Anything less than that might be a tricky season. Well, early doors, not a lot happening so far, but we're back to play out from the goalkeeper. Lindegaard to Weberg and wide to Terzic on the left. Inside to Lingman. Again, with the new players, we will gradually bed them into the team. I'm not going to throw them all in at once, as Karjalainen finds Lerpa, who shoots just over. It's going to be a little tougher with him up front. He's not quite as quick, not quite as good a finisher, so it does leave us with a little less cutting-edge quality through the middle. As Granaf there, I thought that back pass was going to be undercooked. It just made it to Lindegaard, as Gravius finds Kraj on the left. It's a good start from Degerfors. They look comfortable in possession and they're working themselves down out wide as Saidi to the byline. Crosses into Bergstrom and it's a free header in the box. It is not a good start at all. We're going to encourage the lads because they've been in their shell a little bit here. And with 13 minutes gone, we're trailing to a mid-table side at home as we've got a throw on the right with Granath to Hendrickson. Down the line to Lerpa. We could do with getting back on terms quick as the cross is headed away to Lingman. Ali knocks it down though. Karjalainen just not reacting. It's the one thing I really think we're missing at the moment, which is a second top-class striker. We've got Van den Herk who's good enough for this level, but we've not got anyone else, and we've not been able to find anyone, either me or the director of football. Only big target men, which isn't really what we want. Though Tahar Ali there creates some quality space, but he's shot straight at Whiteman. Stings the palms, but easy enough to hold. Just a long ball downfield, which Vidal loses out in the air, all the way through to Lindegaard, and he plows out to Weberg. Can we get in behind for the first time as Almaged gives it to Lingman? Looking for that pass, it's wide to Lerpa. Forced back to Almaged, not a lot of movement up front. Maybe Lundberg would have been the better option here. He's got that bit of movement, he's got that bit of pace. Though Ali finds Karjalainen. Oh, it's a terrible finish. He's got to hit the target there. I forgive him if the keeper saves it, but that's pathetic. We're going to go positive. We're going to try and get on the front foot, but he's not looking good at the moment. Can a set piece save us? No, it can't. Vidal's losing headers today. Never a good sign. Hendrickson recycles on the right to Vidal. Into Almaged. And Lingman got space. Finds Tahar Ali. He's forced slightly wide. Cuts back. Crosses to Lerpa. And Lerpa's there to nod in. The big man at the back stick delivers again. Tahar Ali, I don't know what changed halfway through last season, but he's becoming a superstar now. And we're back on terms with our second shot on target. 1-1, and we've finally got something to cheer about. And as we come into the last minute of the first half, we've got a long ball over the right to Lerpa. Still a fairly even game on the stats, although Tahar Ali's hit the bar with a great header. Oh, it's a brilliant ball from Lerpa, a reverse of the first goal. And it should have been 2-1, but not to be. We've not really dominated since going positive, so we can't say it's changed the game, but we are creating the odd chance. I'm going to say I'm not happy with the performance. I'm not going to give Karjalainen that long in truth, but into the second half we go. Hopefully we can find a way. So we've got the long throw with Granaf. Can it deliver? To the front post to Terzic. Knocks down. Can't get rid of it. And unfortunately, Bertelsen will bring it away to Lindell. Back to his centre half. They're not really looking confident back here, but they are going to get out eventually, I think. We're pressing them all the way. And in the end, it's a hoofed clearance straight to Vidal in the centre circle. He can carry it forward. Instead, just go sideways to Weberg. He finds Terzic at left back, gives it away with a really poor pass. And now he's out of position as Lindell gets down the right. Tahar Ali working back, but it's found Bertelsen and Lindell. It'd be a poor goal to concede as Saidi's in over the top. Lindegaard's there, makes a really good save. In fact, it must have hit the post because no corner given. 10 minutes gone in the second half. I'm going to make the sub early. Lundberg on for Karjalainen. Just that slightly more confident striker in terms of movement. But who needs a striker when you've got a set piece? Kasper Vidal starts this season as he finished the last. A big header at the back post. He's lost a few of them today, but he scores the one that matters. 2-1 on the hour mark, and the set pieces have delivered yet again. With 25 minutes to go, I'm going to make changes in midfield because Hendrickson and Almaged, they had the medium match loads. they don't look great. So Valencia on and also Netabay on. This is what we made the new signings for. Although in fact, I'm going to go for Rasmus Johnson. Bit more experienced and naturally right-footed. I think that gives us a better chance. What-footed is Lingman. Left as well. So let's make those two changes. All three have now been made. Don't get 5 this year in the top tier, but we're on the front foot again with Lerpa. This would be a big win if we could wrap it up, as Lingman goes back to Weber, gives it away on halfway. Not the position or the area we want to concede possession, although they don't really counter at speed. They play out quite slowly. Allows Terzic to get back and win it. Valencia the sub finds Lerpa and Lundberg. Lovely play from him to Lingman, through to Tahar Ali, and it's a great save by the goalkeeper Alfie Whiteman. The Englishman denying us as it's out for another corner, but can we make use of the set pieces again? Lingman with the corner to the back post, outswinger to Vidal, wins it again, but straight at Whiteman. We're starting to get on top at last. And we've got a free kick on the right hand side with Lingman. It's a dangerous ball, just over hit though, and Whiteman can hoof it clear, but there's nobody up there, so it's straight to Granaf, who'd stayed back for the set piece. He plays into Valencia, who's looked good since coming on. Back to Lindegaard and Weiberg. Been a good game this, to be fair. It's been entertaining. As Lindegaard goes long, Lundberg flicks on for Ali. Through to Lundberg again. I tell you what, if Van den Herk's not fit in midweek, Victor Lundberg will be starting above Karjalainen. Today's sort of proven to me that he can go out on loan. He's not going to be good enough, Karjalainen. If we can get another striker, great. If not, Lundberg is definitely our answer. I'm now looking at the fitness and thinking, Vidal, Lerpa, are you going to be fit for midweek? Lingman? Probably not. But with 5 to go, we're going to win our first game in the Swedish Premier Division. And that's all I could have wanted at the start of the day, particularly after conceding the early goal. Lindegaard claims that cross pretty comfortably. With 2 minutes to go, surely we can't blow this. As Vidal goes long to Lundberg, knocks it down for Lerpa. Ironically, Lundberg's actually done better in the air, despite being not quite as good aerially, according to the stats. Terzic on the left-hand side, fighting hard there. Granaf heads away at the far post. The benefit of having 2 tall fullbacks as it's away to Lundberg. Gets down the right-hand side. Sliding challenge, almost falls for Lingman, but it's back to the keeper for Degerfors, who clear downfield. Here's Weiberg to Valencia. I've been really impressed with him in that holding role. To Vidal. And Weiberg again into Lingman. Wide to Tahar Ali. Can we put a bit of gloss on this? Through to Lundberg. He's going to get a brace. Victor Lundberg off the bench. The only question is, why on earth did I not start him? We've got a minute to go. It's 4-1. And in the end, it's a very comfortable victory. And for the first time in this save, we're starting to blow teams away. That's a very good sign against the side expected to finish directly below us. But now we've got the relegation favourites in midweek. And I don't know how many of these boys are going to be fit. Well, it might be a change of plan. I was planning to show the Van Armo game as well today, but what I didn't realise is it's transfer deadline day. With a potential in coming in and a potential import in, as well as a couple of outs too, this day could be busier than we initially expected. So we'll be back with highlights throughout the day. We could have a blockbuster finish in the transfer window. Well, it looks like it might be a busy day indeed, and we've got a decision to make here on Jacob Persson, because he is someone who we want to loan out. He needs football, but is he going to get that by being a fringe player at GIF? And why would he be a fringe player down in the second tier? I'm not quite sure. I'm going to reject that because I want him to be first team. And we've also got the press conference to welcome Garnas, because that's how recently he joined the club. It was literally only yesterday. He's a good footballer. He gives us squad depth, and Suljic will probably be leaving as a result. So we'll be back in a moment as we've got more news in the day. There's one special in that might be coming yet. Well, another offer from GIF, this time a loan offer for Marcus Canto, who again probably is going to be a backup player for us. So what's the point in making him a fringe player elsewhere in a lower level? I don't get it. If we're going to let backup players go out the squad and play youngsters instead, it's because they're getting first team football somewhere. Otherwise, it's essentially a pointless task. However, it's all just been made worthwhile because the big man I wanted to sign on deadline day, one that the director of football or the scouts had found, but we have put the interest in, is going to join the club. Daniel Rios, a 27-year-old striker. We saw enough from Karjalainen on Sunday to know he's not our solution. $2,000 a week will be our highest paid player, but it's a 3-year deal for a player who could make a big difference. Look at him. Quality across the board, very similar to Van den Herk. and has scored goals, particularly in the US in the second tier. But he's just a little bit better in behind. He's still 6'1", he's still strong, he's physically imposing, and he's not bad in the air either, but he's got that natural run in behind. He's a good finisher, he's good off the ball, he's composed, and I think the Mexican's about the best we're going to get, so we accept that. He comes in with no medical concerns. We've got a youngster going out on loan as well, but we've got our man. That's the good news. And look at the quality. 3.5-star ability. We'll get him on an in-language course. We'll also get him welcomed by Rasmus Johnson. But Daniel Rios is probably, joint best striker at the club with Van den Herk. Very similar attribute profiles between them. But most importantly, two very good players. And Karjalainen will now not be needed, which is great. And on that subject, Karjalainen is going to the team that we played against at the weekend. He's going to be a squad player at Degerfors. They're going to pay all of his wage if he's playing, and 80% plus a monthly fee if he's not. I don't think we can ask for more than that. They've got an optional future fee of 44 grand with a sell-on and with some other appearance-based fees as well. I'm going to accept that deal, 1 in, 1 out, and we've definitely upgraded yet again. And with that, I thought we were done for the day. But our main man, Andreas Grankvist, has got very different ideas. He has made an offer for Savarsson. Let's have a look at him and see how good he is. 3-star ability, centre-half and right-back from Valor. 37 years of age. 2.5 grand. I mean, I'm prioritising younger or peak players. I don't think we're going to be getting him. No, look, he's physically lost it. He's a good player mentally, he's good technically, I can understand it. And Langren, our backup right back, is in a similar boat. It's a slight upgrade, but for the very short term. And whilst I understand the offer, it's probably the worst one he's made so far. So Severson will not be joining this club. Grankvist, you've got one more chance to get us a star. Well, fair play to the guy, he's trying, because there is another offer in, this time for Volokia. What's he going to be like? 24 years of age, 3-star ability, lone player. Well, this is the sort of signing I might be more interested in. Let's see what he's like. We've also got offers for Davidson. This is really hotting up this deadline day. So let's see what Andrea Volokia is like. I presume, given where he's playing and his name is Italian, he is. 3-star box to box. I like him. He's a good player. Very similar profile to Lingman. Would allow us to maybe move on Johnson or someone a bit older later down the line. Andreas Grankvist is delivering again. He deserves a lot of credit, this man. What are the wage contributions going to be? And for Davidson, we've now got a loan offer. Regular starter for Mialbi or for Sirius. Look, he's over 30, so I'm not worried about him being a regular starter. He can go wherever he wants of those two. What's the wage like for Volokia? Not bad at all. We're going to negotiate that. And we're going to be back in a moment, maybe, with one more big signing. And just 45 minutes later, both big deals occurring. This is more exciting than any game I could have shown you. Andrea Volokia is joining the club. Firstly, on loan for the rest of the season. And this is an interesting point as well, actually. I don't know that in the head coach over the years, I've ever seen the loan with a view to buy and the mandatory future fee as much as I have in this save. Because it seems to be Grankvist's favourite move. And to be fair, the ones he's done it with, the centre-half and now this guy, very, very good players. So he's actually going to join us for less of a wage at the end of his loan. But Volokia is a real good addition in midfield and will allow us to get Kanto out now if the deal is right. Davidson has chosen a season of football at Mialbi, who got relegated last year. They're paying all of his wages. He's going to be a regular starter. That's going to be a good deal for us as well. Was a good part of our squad last year, so we should remember him fondly. But let's go and have a look at who we can let out of the club now. Because in midfield, we've got these 4 lads. We've also got Netabay, Johnson, and we've got the man coming in. So realistically, we could probably loan out someone like Benjamin Aqua or maybe Kanto again. We might offer both out and just see what happens. So Benjamin Aqua, he is going to benefit from a year of football more than he's going to benefit from playing the odd game here. And Marcus Kanto, I know we didn't get any great offers last time, but we'll offer him out once more and see what happens. So Volokia is in, and we have now got 6 very good midfielders at the club. Andrea Volokia joins in. He's level with the likes of Valencia, the likes of Rasmus Johnson. He's just behind the main 2, of course, in Hendrickson and Lingman, but a really good addition to the club. Davidson's out. What a player he was for us last year, but At 30 years of age, he's a second-tier player, as proven by the clubs that have come in for him. Aqua has got an offer from Hearts of Oak, where he was at the end of last season. He did really well there. They've got good training facilities. He'll be a star player. I think he can come back a superstar if he goes there and gets football. It's another grand off the wage bill as well. And the same for Marcus Canto. Look, GIF are offering a backup role, but at this point, we can't offer him any role now. So 70% of his wages, he's going to be off. And this has turned into a much busier day than I could have ever expected. With 3 3/4 hours to go, do we think Granqvist is going to go for any more deals? That's the big question now. I can't see where else we're going to improve, but I wouldn't put it past him at this rate. Well, he's going for it. Marcus Canto is on loan to GIF. That has been confirmed now. But he's made an offer for a player called Swedish. Now, I know he's a fullback. He popped up in a scout report earlier this summer, but I can't remember which side and how good he is. He's a right back. It's another loan to permanent. He loves that deal. 24 years of age, French right back, playing in the second tier there at the moment. Oh, he's very good. He's a big upgrade on Langren, who we've got at the moment. He's got a fairly long throw as well, which is great for our backup on the right. Oh, this guy's a genius. Andreas Granqvist. Forget your attributes, which are improving, by the way. Take a bow. You are a superstar director of football. That deal is going to finish off the day in some style. I could not be much happier. It may mean that the experienced Langren can leave the club, because he is declining quite heavily. 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. Civis joins on loan for the rest of the season. It will become permanent next winter. I don't know why he's doing that move so often, but it's really working for us. Civis is a massive upgrade to our backup right back. He's a good player. He's been playing in the second tier of French football, and he's fantastic. And in a position where we've got an aging experienced player, there's definitely no harm in getting a young replacement. Langren, no transfer offers for him. We're going to try the loan ones now. Given his versatility and his experience, I'm not devastated if he stays, but considering he's on a big wage, it would be great if we could get him out. Well, Civis, only given 2.5 star ability by the coaches, but regardless, he's a good player with big potential. He's better than Langren on the list and just behind Granaf. He's going to be crucial because with these 2 games a week, we need a stronger squad, and that's exactly what we've got. There was another offer made, this time for Seligin, as a potential replacement for Lucas Lingman. There wasn't time to complete the deal, but I'm really impressed with how many different countries, teams, nationalities he's looking at. So Andreas Granqvist, take a bow. We'll be back in a moment to review a very hectic day. And there it is. Most players out is from us. Lots of players in as well. We didn't spend anywhere near as much as the top sides, but given the smaller budget, given the smaller wage restrictions, Andreas Granqvist has delivered a masterstroke of a deadline day. We've got 3 players on loan who will join permanently. It looks like Ali Suljic is off. He's going to Bosnia, which is why it wasn't a rush to do today. And Benjamin Aqua, the same to Hearts of Oak. Their window is still open. But a really brilliant day. A pleasant surprise. Brilliant work from the director of football. He's improving the staffing team. Now the playing side. And I feel we can compete. Have those 3 signings made any difference to the media expectation? They have. We are now expected to finish 8th. Above Häcken, just behind Göteborg and Elfsborg. All you can ask of a director of football is that they help improve the team. And the evidence there clearly suggests he had. So let's go and have a look at the schedule for a minute. It's going to be back. I know the big game at the end of May is the cup final. But we've actually got half of our league season before that because there's so many matches. I think what I'm going to come back for is the last game of April and the first game of May. That's because they're 2 of last year's top 3. AIK finished 3rd, Nürköping are the champions. We'll see what position we're in after the hectic schedule throughout the rest of April. If you did enjoy this episode though, a big win despite an early scare on the first day of the league season, and in a crazy transfer deadline day courtesy of Andreas Granqvist, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. We had a massive transfer special in the Hemel save yesterday, bigger numbers but not quite as hectic. Please do check that out in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the merchandise store too. Above my head now is that video so it's easy to get to, and I'll see you here again in a couple of days time. We test ourselves against 2 of the best sides in the country.